Short little video there, of course, from Queen, of course. Anyway, I welcome you back, of course, to what is the spring semester 2021. Of course, Daniel Simon at Baton Rouge Community College. Hope you're having a great week out there overall. Of course, this week I'll be introducing the History 1123 class. This course is the first 7 weeks class for the spring semester 2022. I'm not sure we have too many students watching right now, but most of you, of course, will be watching this as a recorded video. So let me know. So let me know if you are watching live, of course, out there. Students that do watch the live stream, of course, get extra credit, bonus points. I think those out there that, of course, watch it later, you can also comment, send me questions, of course, about videos, lectures, etc. So I hope you are having a great afternoon overall. Of course, today, like I said, we'll be talking about the class syllabus for History 1123. If you're in the other, 14-week class, you can pretty much watch either video is fine. Of course, this one is mostly for the spring semester first 7 weeks class at BRCC. If you do have any comments, questions during like the live stream, or if later on you have a question or comment about the class, you can either leave it on my channel, or you can, of course, send me an email. I'll kind of give you my email as well. I think a lot of you should already know that by now. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can as well if you want to keep up with various videos. But here, of course, is my direct email contact during the semester. If you need, of course, got a question about something administrative-wise or whatever with the class. If you want to join me in StreamYard.com, like in the broadcast booth right now, there's the link below. Of course, that link will not be good after the stream ends. So you just use the regular YouTube link I've got for you already. I did want to talk about, before I get started with the background of the course and all that, and kind of talk about Canvas, use of our syllabus, of course, as well for the semester. But I did want to remind you about completing assignments for this week. One of our main assignments, of course, that 2 of them we really need to get done this week is the pretest and then the contract policy page. Now, that's like one of the main things that y'all need to get that out the way. I think tomorrow, I think it's Thursday, January 20th, 12 noon. I think that's going to be apparently the cutoff date for what the college wants. For those that want to, attend this class online or not. So if you do not, do those assignments, you might be counted absent. So make sure you complete those if you want to, continue, of course, in the class. Looks like Diamond is joining us. We're having a great afternoon out there overall. If you got a comment, question about something, let me know. Of course, I can answer it for you quickly. As well. Of course, if you want to leave a comment, question later, you can, or you can email me, of course, if you have a comment anytime or whatever during the semester. So anyway, I did have some other links too. I think I put up already. You can see on YouTube. But yeah, this is going to be the lecture playlist, of course, we'll use for the entire semester. This will be for the first 7 weeks class. Of course, I think some of the 14 weeks, if they want to use it, they can also as well. Some of our lectures probably will be a combination of probably recorded and probably like live, a little bit of both, probably of each that I'll have. I know we have a lecture coming up this week that we have Friday, which will be on the Reformation. I'll probably send that out today and tomorrow about that coming up Friday. So we will have a lecture later in the week, but just for the first 7 weeks class. Overall. It's like T. Dickless is also joining us too, so we're having a great afternoon out there as well. So yeah, I had that, and I think I had also this other thing. If you're interested in the Veterans Oral History Project for my class, I do have a link for that. Like if you want to look at examples of past veterans that have been interviewed by some of my previous BRC students. You can take a look at that online. That is only for bonus points only. It's like basically an extracurricular type, assignment, I guess, for the semester that it's not mandatory. So if you want to earn extra credit, maybe help boost your grade. If you're, obviously if you get like a lower grade or whatever, if you have a C, give you a B or B and A, that kind of thing. So that is one project. If you're a veteran yourself, you might be interested in that project also as well. Now I'll talk about the book report too, the book report assignment. I think you need to go ahead and start, sending me requests for whatever book titles that you want to read for the semester. You only need to pick one, but you can go ahead and start emailing that to me whenever you can. That should probably be done in the first 2 or 3 weeks of the semester. Now, I'm going to go ahead and first kind of look at Canvas today. I'll kind of go through and give you a tour of it. I had a little short video I think I had from the fall semester. You can kind of look at it if you want, kind of giving you a tour of what Canvas looks like and all that. But go ahead and share that with you. I do have some different announcements I've got up there right now. Of course, the main one I have now is the one about the, of course, syllabus review day we're doing, of course, right now. That's kind of one right there. It's like Jalen's also joining us in StreamYard as well. But let me go to the main announcements that I've got that y'all need to look at. The one right here, of course, that y'all need to look at probably the most is the one about the syllabus. Welcome to History 1123. So that's something y'all need to look at. Y'all do need to go to page 5 of the syllabus and turn in the contract policy page, which that you can either attach it to the actual assignment in Canvas. You can email it to me, or you can even email me and just tell me that you agree to the terms of the syllabus, so you can get credit for that. So that and the pretest will, like I said, count towards attendance for week 1. Also, there's some stuff in there about the book report and the list there I've got. So yeah, those that, of course, already know their book, they want to read for the spring semester, you can go ahead and, of course, email those to me whenever you can. It's like Julia's joining us too, also in StreamYard. But so yeah, go ahead and send those to me. I'll probably give you the first 2 or 3 weeks to decide basically about that as well. Abigail's also joining us. Hope you're having a good afternoon as well. So yeah, and now, of course, you see on the bottom there, it does have information about the Veterans Oral History Project. So that, like I said, that's something you need to start thinking about if you want to do that or not. Like I said, the one on the Veterans Project is not mandatory. It's optional for, of course, a lot of extra bonus points. So, but if, like I said, if you're a veteran or you know a veteran, you want to interview somebody, it either has to be like a video or audio interview, either one. Other things too, of course, it does have the list. I see that link down there, of course, to my YouTube channel. That's something y'all should pretty much be familiar with for the whole semester, my YouTube channel. But I do have it on the bottom of Canvas. If you go down here, bottom left, there is a link to get to my YouTube channel. We'll be using that a lot throughout the semester. Pretty much that's where I do all my lectures, pretty much live stream stuff, or it's a recorded lecture from a previous lecture I've had. Now I've got other announcements too that we can take a look at as well. I think there's one about the pre-test, which is right here. So yeah, it says Friday, but I have changed the date on it because college is moving up the date for when attendance is due in week 1 for Thursday at noon. So it's going to be due a little early. So you do try to get that done. I think there's still like a bunch of people that still have not done it yet. That's something I'll need to work on and get done. I'll look at attendance today, who's in the live stream and all that. I'll count that too. But most of my attendance is going to be based off of assignments each week. That's how I'm going to be doing attendance. So You don't necessarily have to, be here, for the live stream and all that when I give a lecture or whatever. But you do get extra credit for watching the live streams. Well, anyway, I just want to let you know that, of course. Now you can, like I said, you can send me comments, leave me questions about lectures, things like that. I'll probably have some discussion during the semester we'll have, which will probably be on like the study guides for the quizzes, exams, and things like that. I'll have later, but you can leave, comments, questions on YouTube on videos, and I give you credit for that. But probably not for today, but like for lectures, things like that. Let's see what else. We also had. I'll kind of go back to. I guess what I was, of course, looking at the announcements right here. There's a few more there as well. I think there's like one announcement here about the different links, I guess, that are kind of important for the semester. So you got the History 1123 lecture playlist. That should be the one for the first 7 weeks class, which is right there. And then I do have that little link for the veterans projects, those that have done it before. You want to look at that. And then, of course, the link down there to my YouTube channel and all that. Also, there is a announcement about use of StreamYard. StreamYard is a little different. It's more of a live streaming platform. It's kind of like a cross between Zoom and Google Meet. Although it's limited on the amount of students that could be, like in the broadcast booth or whatever. I think it's only like 10 or whatever. But the only thing about StreamYard is you leave a comment, you can't put it on the screen. So that's the YouTube you can, or whatever platform it is. I think you can stream to like Facebook Live and Twitch and things like that. But you can leave comments on YouTube or whatever. I can put it on the screen or whatever. So if you have a question or comment, we can kind of share it and all that, and let's have all the technical stuff, I guess. Because the technology is kind of hard sometimes. But anyway, so yeah, just look over that. You do get bonus, like I said, for leaving comments, questions on my YouTube channel, etc. And also, if you can, watch the live stream or not. But like I said, it's not mandatory that you watch the live stream, and all that. Now, we will be having a lecture coming up. It's probably not, it might be up by now, I believe, but there is, of course, a Reformation lecture that's coming up Friday, January 21st. Of course, I'll send that out, reminders about it coming up probably by tomorrow, which will be Friday at 1. I guess the other class, they want to watch whatever, but they can watch it later. But I'll probably try to discuss most of the Reformation because this is more of a compact class. Now, also, I'll kind of go through and I'll kind of show you like a tour of Canvas, like the different parts of it that exist, which you need to kind of look at right now. They have different assignments that are up that you can look at right now. Of course, one of the first ones I guess you can start working on, well, the first two y'all need to start working on is really the first key terms assignment, which is a vocab assignment for like the first couple chapters. The textbook isn't mandatory. I'll get to that in a second, but we do have a textbook that they use for History 1123, which is the history of world societies. So you can use that as a source for the vocab definitions. Or you can also use secondary source like dictionaries or whatever source you can use for that. It does have to be in type format, and it gives a minimum, like 1 to 2 sentence minimum per term. I guess how much you want to write, whatever, but it does have to be in type format. Do make sure to cite your sources. Usually MLA format's fine. Prefer if you cite the sources under each term. And it's kind of repetitive, but it's easy for me to find out what you used it for. Rather than putting in a big list in the back of a big works cited page in the back. It's easy for me to find it if it's under each term. So that's one assignment. I think it's, like you see it due early February. So that's one project you'll need to go ahead and start working on right now. That is an assignment y'all need to really do. I know last semester students for some reason were having trouble doing that assignment, it's usually one of my easiest ones. So we'll probably have 3, maybe 4 of these at the most that we'll have overall. So that is a lot of points. 450 to 600 points may be possible with that. Like I said, we have the book report too. That's something y'all need to start working on too. And like I said, right now, y'all need to go ahead and send me what book you want to read for the spring semester. There's assignments below. It's also in page 4 of the syllabus, but you could go look at that list right there of different books. I did include a writing rubric as well for that particular assignment. And there is a limit per book, like 3 students per book. So there's a certain book you want to read, do let me know because it might be taken. So just go ahead and start emailing that to me as soon as you can. Like I said, the Veterans Project, that, of course, is an extra credit assignment. Of course, that'll be due in March for the first 7 weeks class. If you're in the regular 14 weeks class, you have till May to do it. But this one, you have only about 7 weeks to work on it. So that one can be, like I said, either a completed video interview or an audio interview of a veteran. If it's yourself, you'll have to have someone interview you, like a family or friend, family member or friend could interview or whatever. But you can get the same pretty much extra credit, of course, for that. So that's there to look at. The guidelines are located there, but they're located in, like, I think, in multiple spots in Canvas as well. The contract policy page thing is down here as well. That one, if you go to the student view, like I said, you can attach that one if you just hit the start assignment button, and then you would just attach the file to page 5 of your syllabus, or if you want to upload the whole thing filled out or whatever, you can do that as well. Just send me a picture of 5 is all I need. Or, like I said, you can also email me, if you want to just tell me you agree to the terms also as well. So either way, for that, that'll count towards, attendance for week 1, along with the pretest. There are study guides for the semester that they do have. Of course, I'll show you those later, but they're in modules. But you do get extra credit for completing those during the semester, which each one is worth 20 bonus points toward the exams. I think that one's going to have several topics on it: the Reformation, world exploration, conquest of America, absolutism up to like the period of like Russia and all that. I'll probably, like, during the semester have some kind of reviews over that, like in discussion, where y'all can kind of, we can share answers to that, and I can check answers too as well for how you do on the study guides. But I'll probably do that later in the semester sometime, maybe start next week, maybe working on that if I can. So yeah, kind of just talking about different assignments I've got on there right now. I don't think there's too much in there. They have other assignments, you just can't see them yet. They do have, of course, in quizzes, they'll have different quizzes later, but the only one you can see right now is the pre-test, which has now been pushed up to Thursday, January at noon time. Other sections of the of the actual on Canvas, if you want to look at it, kind of a tour. They do have what they call files. This section is a section which shows pretty much all the major files that are in the course, Word file, PowerPoint, or whatever kind of document it is. It can be found pretty much there. Just kind of showing you that. Syllabus. The syllabus is also located here. Also, I do put information about the textbook in this section as well. Like I said, the book they're using for the semester is the History of World Societies, Volume 2. There's also the, if you want to get the combined edition, you can do that as well. So 12th edition, there's the ISBN number if you need that. You either get it at the bookstore, You can rent it, you can buy it. You can also get it like online, like Amazon or something like that as well. This one is the combined edition, which is right here. There might be Kindle versions of this book, online versions, which you can get like an ebook as well. Like I said, the textbook will be optional for the course. If you, I would recommend it. If you need it for doing a lot of the vocab assignments, you may need a, reference if you want to look up historical information or whatever. It's definitely good to use. There's contact information, of course, there's the bookstore's website. There's their phone number and also email address if you want to email them as well. I've also got samples of some textbooks that Amazon has, like the 12th edition, volume 2, just volume 2 itself. And then I've got the combined edition too, volume 1 and volume 2. Some students get the combined edition because they're taking both of them or something like that. But if you already took 11, 13, you might already have the combined edition that you can use. Or if you don't, you'll have to get the volume 2 anyway. So that just depends. But if you're going to take both, you might want to get the combined edition, etc. I think on the bottom here, if you go down, there's like a calendar system here with the course summary of like things that are coming up, I guess, that we're going to be due later, or at least they might be due later that they've got, but they've got stuff in there listed, but some of those might be changed later. Now, let me also go ahead. I think there's a few other things in there that I can show you as well. Yeah, of course, they have also modules as well. That's got a few things in there right now you can take a look at. Welcome to 1123. Of course, the video announcement, I had that preview video. It was from the fall, but I kind of just recycled it, but kind of give you like a tour of what Canvas kind of looks like and all that. Syllabus right here, that's section 2 as well. Of course, it says take the pre-test, of course, in week 1. And then the contract policy page, that also needs to be done as well. I do kind of throw in there links to my YouTube channel right here. I've also got the link to the playlist of different lectures, videos, things like that. That will be, of course, on my YouTube channel, which includes this video today as well. Of course, it shows week 1 here, syllabus review day. There's the link already up there right now that I've got. But like I said, later in the week, this is still kind of week 1. Of course, we will have a lecture, like I said, on Friday, of course, on the Reformation. I'll send out announcements about it later, but there is, of course, a PowerPoint lecture on there I'll kind of use later. Some of these may change later, depending on the schedule, but some of these you can't see yet. But anyway, I think that's for I'll have to change that. We're, of course, have a 7 weeks class. But anyway, also, of course, I've got the study guide here as well that you can see. So they do include like the study guide, the Word document version. I think I've got a PowerPoint version I'll kind of share later that I have as well, which I need to kind of include. But basically, you'll, whenever you finish that, you'll just upload it here and share it with me so I can, of course, add the bonus points for that. They do have a list of sources for the book report if you want to look at that right here. So email me, like I said, if you know what book you want to use for that. Veterans Project, I did have put this here as well. I think the date for that one needs to be fixed, but that'll be March is when it will be actually. I think it should be March 5th is what it should be, not May 5th. But anyway, for the Veterans Project, it doesn't have to be a veteran that was in a war. So if you're wondering about that, it could be somebody who was in the Cold War era. They may be stationed in West Germany during the war, their Persian Gulf War, whatever, or just somebody who was a veteran. I've got some interviews where they're just basically veterans that weren't really in a war. So you can include those kinds of people as well to be interviewed. Or if you're yourself a veteran, like I said, you can also have someone basically record like an interview. I do have like an academic calendar if you want to look at that later, which is listed right here. And then I do have, of course, my office hours. For at least for us online, our main office hours will be 11 to 1, of course, during pretty much the week. I've got my email, of course, main phone number down there I've got. But let me go ahead and I did want to go ahead and look at the syllabus for a few minutes as well today, kind of share some things with that and kind of talk about the syllabus a little bit, of course, for today. Here, of course, is the syllabus right here. You can see. Yeah, it does have the same contact information below. Like that was like in that, in modules that I've got listed right there. Abigail's asking me a question. Do we need to type out sentences and just highlight bold the key terms? Yeah, it does need to have it. It's kind of like in a sentence format. 1 to 2 sentences, usually the minimum for it is what it should be. But, I get sometimes like people put in sentences that are a lot, where it's like, like a big paragraph, and it doesn't have to be that way. Like a few sentences is really all I need mostly for. I don't know about highlighting or whatever bold, but I do have them separate though. I try to, skip a line, whatever, so I can. It's kind of hard when it's like one big paragraph and it's hard to read. So like maybe put like space between them and all that. But anyway, yeah, there's the contact information which you see right there. So yeah, email address is going to be my main form of contact during the semester. So that's what I prefer overall. So pretty much you got a question about the class, let me know, of course, about that. But as you know, we all have signed up for a survey class. But the survey class is like a basic, broad class about, world history in general. Although this class is more of a modern history. So if you already took the History 1113, that class was more like ancient history, medieval history, and things like that. And so this deals more with modern history, especially from like around the time of Columbus and the Reformation and covering up through modern times. A lot of European history we do, of course, because Europeans kind of affect the world a lot in general. So yeah, we're going to go up through like probably as far as like maybe around the Cold War. It's about the time period of it. So you can see here that those are some of the learning outcomes we're going to, of course, do during the semester. Demonstrate knowledge of it, historical events, people, things like that. Locate, retrieve historical data, comprehend sources. Those would be kind of the things we'll do in pretty much most history classes. I think it looks like the Gen Ed's learning outcomes and things like that as well. Of course, the textbook I told you is called History of World Societies. There's mostly that they're going to the 12th edition. I think I'm letting students still use the 11th edition because some, I guess, are still out there or whatever. It's not much difference. I looked at both of them. There's not too much difference between the editions. I think they may have just revised a few things, probably more at the end, because the rest are having more stuff happen in history at the end. But like I said, the textbook isn't mandatory, but you may need it for your vocab assignments. You might need it as a reference to look up historical events, people, things like that. So I would recommend it, things like that. Overall, I don't really teach out of the book and things like that, but you might, like I said, need it as a reference. We will have 3 exams during the semester. You can see first, second, final exam. Of course, our exams will be online. Probably won't be as many questions as that, but it probably will be at least 40 or more on some of the exams. Thinking that you'll probably only get one attempt, at least on the first 2 exams. I think I'm going to probably have just one attempt available, unless you have a disability or something like that. I'll probably give you like an extra attempt, but I think on the final I might give you 2 attempts or something for those that need more points or whatever. But pretty much quizzes will be 2 attempts is what they'll be. But the types of questions I'll have will be predominantly multiple choice, fill in the blank, short answer style type questions, some matching, stuff like that. That's the kind of questions I'll probably have on a lot of our exams and quizzes and things like that. So each exam will be 200 points. Don't give a midterm exam because we're usually between exams when midterms come up. But I do give a makeup week during midterm, which I'll announce later. So I'll try to. I guess they don't really have midterms for us because we're a 7 weeks class, but I guess halfway through, which will be, I guess, sometime in February, we'll probably have some type of makeup. Usually before finals, I do have makeups too, if anybody needs it as well. I do give exemptions for the final exam. Those that have a A+ range going into the final, so it's like 96% or higher. So that you have to make sure you have your assignments completed and all that. But I do that, of course, for this class. Other assignments I've got listed, of course, the book report, which we'll talk about on page 4. That's going to be a major assignment, of course, for the semester. I'll talk about on that next couple pages coming up. We'll have quizzes throughout the semester. A lot of them will be on like lectures mostly, but I will try to have some time to maybe have some quizzes on like historical documents or videos that I might show a part of or at least assign it maybe. It's kind of hard to show documentaries, online, but I'll probably give you assignments on various documentaries possibly. Those vary on points, but they could be anywhere from 50 to 100 points per assignment. I do give points for attendance as well. You can see, so I think it's listed on page 5 of the syllabus. There's a blurb, of course, you can see on the Veterans Oral History Project, which you see right there. So it could be any veteran who fought in World War II, Korean War, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan conflicts, or it could be someone who was in the Cold War era, or just a veteran himself, or herself. They don't necessarily have to be in a conflict. It's just like, I think it's more interesting if they were in a conflict, things like that, and talking about it and their experiences and all that. So those do have to be either in like a completed video or audio interview. Video is preferred because, people want to look at video over obviously audio. You do need a release form, by the way, but do look over the guidelines for that, which is posted in Canvas. The grading scale, of course, is a 10-point scale, as you know. I'm not sure about the points for the semester, but that's going to vary depending on how many assignments I have during the semester. We do have plagiarism. I think a little thing on that in the syllabus. Make sure you don't plagiarize, steal someone's work. That could be a fellow student, author. It could be an internet source. So, that could result in a 0 grade in a project, where it could affect your grade overall, even give you an F in the class. I guess if you have a D and it gives you an F, it could. So I think the BRC student handbook talks about different degrees of plagiarism, which I think is like maybe 3 I think I've seen. But make sure you, of course, look at that in the student handbook. There's a little section in there about safety as well. The number for campus police is 216-8888. Also, I put some information about the BRCC Connect, which you can see right here. That is a emergency text messaging email system for the college in case they, cancel classes or announce some kind of emergency that happens. They do have a place you can sign up for it, which is getrave.com. Is right here if you want to sign up for it. There's a section on student conduct. I don't know if this will affect us as much since we're online or whatever, but that does exist also in the BRCC student handbook. So make sure you look at that in the syllabus. Make sure you have a student ID, parking tag, of course, for your vehicle overall. Some of these things are more for like face-to-face classes or whatever, what you see down here. So think most of you will be watching this recorded and not live. Now, page 4, of course, book report in review. Make sure you look at that as well. This is really important assignment during the semester. It's really one of the major mandatory assignments that could affect your grade in the end. And like I said, for this semester, you're going to have to read at least one historical work, which I'll let you kind of pick from the list that I've got. I've read pretty much all those books in the list, by the way, if you're wondering about it. But anyway, I think if you look at the book list, you only have to read about a third of the book. So if it has 9 chapters, you'll have to read at least 3 chapters out of that particular book that you chose. Of course, the idea is to look for the book. That's part of the project, like looking up or finding it. So you may have to purchase it or get it online. I have worked with the BRCC library to get some of these books that are in the list. So do check the library out and see if they have it. Or you can also check other libraries out where you live. But you could you can go to the bookstore. You could get an internet source like Amazon. You can get a Kindle application, like a Kindle app, on your obviously iPad or whatever it is, and you could obviously read the book that way in that format. So I think use of Kindle can be a little cheaper usually. I got the main directions for the research paper. It does have to have a cover page for MLA style. Double spacing. Make sure to stick to 12 font. No kind of crazy italics or things like that. Cursive type stuff. Minimum of 3 pages in length. So that's double space. That should be the main body of the paper. That doesn't include the cover page or anything else after that. Make sure you do have a works citation of your book that you read. Remember, you should not be using other sources for this. So this is not a research paper about a specific historical topic like Adolf Hitler or whatever it is. It should be basically about that book that you read. So majority of the book should be more like a summarization of what the author wrote about in the book. So make sure to take plenty of notes about what you read. Stick to the main points of what the author writes about. You don't have to cover everything in the book, things like that. I do want some criticism, about the book. You can either include it in the entire paper or you can include it at the end if you want, like a paragraph or 2 or whatever, how you want to do it. But do give me some critical review because if you don't, I will take points off, of course, for that. I do have examples of questions you could ask, like, did you like the work? Like, if you didn't like it, let me know or whatever. You could switch books if you don't like the work, by the way, too. But would you recommend it for someone for reading? What were some positive, negative aspects of the work? What were some positive, negative aspects of the author's style of writing on the subject? There's basic comments you could ask. You could relate it to today, but try to stick to pretty much like what the author's talking about historically, more than anything. I don't usually take rough drafts during the semester, but if you have like a question about your paper or you need help with it, you can email me. You can even send me a copy of your paper and I can kind of look over it, proofread it for you. But do use things like spell check. They have things like Grammarly where you can check the grammar. You can have other students or like a friend or family member read over your paper, things like that, to kind of work on creating a better draft and all that. That's the order of the paper, although I don't really need that part 5. I don't know why I put that in there, but sometimes I used to ask for a copyright page of the book because some books, they have a translation of it. There's different versions of it that are out there, but at least the work citation should be, of course, at the end. For y'all, this paper will be due during, I think, finals week, which I think is around like the first week of March. So that's something y'all need to go ahead and start working on, of course, right now. So yeah, go ahead and start, emailing me what books you want to do, of course, for the semester. Also, on page 5 of the syllabus, make sure you look at that, the contract policy page. That kind of goes through like attendance issues and things like that. So like I said, page 5 needs to be emailed to me, or you can, like I said, attach it to the assignment in Canvas. Or you can also, like I said, you can just email me and say you agree to the terms of the syllabus for the entire semester. So yeah, so you got like things about attendance. Like I said, attendance is not going to be taken based off of whether you watch the lectures or not. It will be based off of assignments each week. Like I said, week 1 is mostly going to be the pre-test, turning in the contract policy page. So those are things you need to go ahead and get done. I'll kind of look at people that watch it today, I guess, in the live stream, but that's something that's going to count, like I said, towards attendance. If you do get excessive absences, you can drop the class. Make sure you realize that about any class at BRCC. Don't do, of course, administrative drops, as that says. Attendance participation points, of course, you can see will be 150 points, which will be based off of, like I said, assignments done each week. After 3 weeks, I usually take off points. That probably should be double since this is a 7 weeks class. So I think I'm probably going to do -10 per week because we only have really, 7 weeks for this. Well, that's probably for a 14 weeks class you're looking at. We do have an exam, makeup exam policy. I do have, like if you're going to miss an exam, please let me know beforehand. That's mostly for face-to-face classes, but obviously if you miss the exam for online, you need to email me. We can set up a makeup period later, which will probably be probably at the midterm. That might be, but I do give makeup periods, of course, during the semester, which will be during the midterm and also during probably right before the final as well, early March. There is a student information section on the bottom, so please fill that out as well. Student name, intended major, whatever you think you're going to major overall. Also, you can ask me, give me answers to these questions here, but what do you like about history? What do you dislike about history as well? There are some other pages that are in the syllabus. They have the military absence policy, which is on page 6. You want to take a look at that. As well, there's some documentation that goes with that, like if you're in the military or National Guard, something like that. So you are excused, for that reason, but there are policies with that. There's also the student athlete absence policy as well, which is on page 8. So you are excused for that if you are, of course, a student athlete at BRCC as well. Also, I've got on page 9 this addendum I added to the syllabus as well. That's a course continuity addendum, which goes into really more for face-to-face classes. So I think that's more for like if a face-to-face class has to convert to online, which that might be obviously something that's influenced by the pandemic, or it could be, of course, affected like Hurricane Ida last semester, things like that. But that probably won't affect us as much. But we do have a adverse weather thing that could throw off the semester and things like that. I might have to change like dates of assignments and other things like that. So I kind of wanted to show you all these different things that I've got in the syllabus, right now that I have. But like I said, if you have any comments, questions during the semester, please, let me know anytime. You can, like I said, my main email contact is simond@mybrcc.edu. So if you have an administrative question, please let me know night and day so I can get back to you about that. If you want to send me stuff about what book you want to do for your book report or whatever else you got, I guess send me. You can also, of course, do that as well. If you got a comment, question about this video, lecture, whatever, you can send, of course, that to me later. You can send me comments on my channel, or you can also, like I said, email me as well. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can also, of course, do that as well. So that's about it for today. like I said, later in the week on Friday, of course, have our first lecture, which is going to be on the Reformation. I'm going to kind of course, go into the background of the Reformation, kind of talk about how it starts in early modern Europe, like around the 16th century. I'll talk a lot about like the early reformers, like Martin Luther, John Calvin, Ulrich Zwingli. We'll get into talking about a little about the English Reformation. I'll probably get into the Radical Reformation. Then we'll also get into like things like the Counter Catholic Reformation that also happened, and whatever else we can kind of get in also about the Reformation as well, because the Reformation pretty much covers like pretty much the 16th up to about the 17th centuries. Because after that, we'll get more into also other things like the expiration period, which kind of starts around the same time. So that's pretty much it for today. It doesn't look like anybody else has any other comments, questions today, but I will send out probably some announcements via email about what's coming up, of course, later in the week. So that's it for today. Hope y'all have a great beginning of this semester at BRCC. Like I said, if you have any comments, questions, you can always email me anytime you want and all that. And so that's it for today. Hope y'all have a great week overall, and y'all take care. Okay, so see you later. Take care.